Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Still a little bit chilly and nippy gloomy outside, but yeah, kind of cloudy, gloomy. But hang in there, 80s next week, they're saying later on. So they may change that. I saw a little I get a little weather, I don't know, it's ag something. I don't even remember the name of it. It pops up on my phone. And they upped our snow totals. That was going to be a half inch and possibly 3 now from late Thursday night to Friday, but then warming up by Sunday. So I don't know. It's the weather in Oklahoma, and It will change. So it's hang in there. This cold to go to hot, and it won't be too many weeks. We'll be saying, man, it's hot. I wish it'd cool also.
Well, you will be. I won't be saying that.
I don't like bitter cold, but this don't bother me too bad at all. But again, I don't like sub-zero. That's a little tough on me. But anyhow, I'm going to stay in the theme of confident. I'm going to retouch what we did yesterday in Philippians in 1:6. It says, "For I'm confident of this very thing, that he who began a good work, which is God in you, will perfect it until the day of Jesus Christ comes." So I hope that you, again, confident on that. Well, I'm going to jump over here to Hebrews, and we're going to look at this is an older Bible, and I've kind of fallen apart. I've flipped through it many times.
Well used.
In Hebrews 4:14, it says, "Since then we have a great," this is why we remain confident God's going to perfect that good work in us. "Since then we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God." So it tells us who our high priest is. No longer down on earth, but it's the one in heaven. It says he's passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God. "So since that's the case, let us hold fast our confession," the confession that God's got us, we believe in him and all that, our confession that God is good, God is great, Jesus saved me and all that. So verse 15, "For we do not have," here's the good news about it, because some of those high priests in the past couldn't sympathize with the weaknesses of the people. It was very harsh. The law was very unforgiving. There was no grace or mercy in the law. Yeah, you get some things that whack you in the head with a rock, so you was gonna be in trouble. So it says, "We do not have a high priest who cannot sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who has been tempted in all things as we are, yet," here's the key, "why he was the perfect sacrifice without sin. So since that's the case," verse 16, "let us," you and I, "therefore draw near with confidence to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need." God's unmerited favor. Now grace, the reason we can have the confidence is the grace and mercy. But first off, we get grace, God's unmerited favor as sinners, that we can find redemption, that we can find forgiveness. Then we go and find God's favor through his grace as a child of God. So we go from sinner to saint to child of God, from a child of the devil to child of God. But then we can do that, notice it said, draw near with confidence, not afraid. So many people, and I've talked to a lot of people through the years, you know, they're kind of afraid to come to church. I've heard, "Oh, well, the roof would fall down if I come in there." No, I promise you it ain't going to fall down. If it falls down, it's not because you came, because you had a faulty roof. But it ain't going to fall down because you came. But we can, with confidence, draw near to that throne of grace. And that's where the presence of God is, and come into his presence. So I hope that no matter what problem that you have, and I see so many people, especially nowadays as time goes by, more and more people are airing all their dirty laundry, all their problems, all their situations out on social media. Now, that can be good, because as you air out, say, "I'm having a tough time, but God got me through it," that may encourage or give somebody the confidence to come to God. But when it's just constant complaining and belly aching and, "Oh, poor me," and you don't give them that confidence, say, "But God got me through it, but God's get me through it, but God's going to deliver me from it." Right. That shifts how we're using our social media platforms, how we talk to people, and how we go through things. We all go through things. Some days are great days, some days are bad. Sometimes those bad days string into weeks, months, sometimes the years, and God understands it. But here's the cool thing. I'm going to read that one more time. I'm going to have Kelly chime in here. It says, "We have a great high priest that's passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God." So we've got the best there is. You can't get no better than that. We don't have a high priest, even though he's so great, and there's no name above his name. He can still sympathize when we have weaknesses and problems, and then we can draw near with confidence to know that God is going to open his arms up and say, "Come on in, my child," and deal with our problems. So, Kelly, what's some things that gives you the confidence that you have to be able to do that?
Well, my example is going to be from this morning. As I was doing my hair, my right hand does really.
You didn't have your hair
I did. My right hand does really good, but my left hand, it's like it's special or something. It doesn't work right. And like grumbling about that, and then I have this one piece of hair that I was like, I have to burn this one into submission to make it do what I want it to do. And it was like the Lord just spoke and said, and that's how I feel about my people. Some of them are special, and some of them don't work quite right, and some of them, my right hand works right, and it does what it needs to do. But then some of them I have to burn into submission. So I was like, okay, Lord, yes, I get it. I need to be more aware and more open to you and to hearing you, and not so busy in what I'm doing, and just hear you. Sometimes I just get so busy. I say my prayers and I'm like, oh Lord, and then I just am up and going instead of just staying still for another 10 minutes or 5 minutes, and just listening to what he has to say. Right. And that's what gives me the confidence, is knowing that he's going to speak to me even when I'm doing my hair, and give me some peace and some strength and some courage, and just and some love. I mean, because that's basically what it was. He was loving on me this morning as I was complaining about not getting my hair going crazy or whatever, but he was loving on me and telling me that's how he feels about me, or us, and just not me, about his people, that there are special ones, and there are ones that do what they should, and then there's ones that have to be burned into submission. So that's just one of those.
And the cool thing about God is there's no sin too great that he can't get us past or forgive, in that if we have a repentant heart, if we confess it, with our mouth and believe in our heart, we're saved. And then, but I've noticed in my own personal life, the more I draw near to him, like the Bible says, draw close to God, he'll draw close to you. Draw near to God, he'll draw nigh unto you.
Yes.
And the problem of it is, a lot of times we keep that distance because we don't have the confidence in that. We're afraid that God's going to say something we don't like, because so many times we hear things from people that we don't like. Now, if it's the truth expressed in love, it's facts are facts.
That's
a lot of people struggle with the facts, and you tell them the truth, they'll try to spin it that it's your fault or it's something you've done, and that's really not the issue.
Yes.
But God doesn't do that. God judges the heart. He knows the deepest depths, he's in depth of what we got going on in our mind. Right. You can't hide nothing from him. Right. And so many times we don't have that confidence just to say, Lord, I screwed up, because we're afraid of punishment. Well, perfect love casts out all fear, because fear, John tells us, has to do with punishment. So when we balance all that out, have that confidence that in your time of need, draw near to God. And notice what it says, approach his throne of grace with confidence, so you may find help, you may find mercy, grace in your time of need. And I notice that when you do that, it makes those needs and those mountains a lot easier to move, a lot easier to climb if we've got to climb them. And even if we're down in the valley fighting a battle, it's okay. We know that God's the same yesterday, today, and forever, and he's going to go through it. And he even wants
you to come to him when you're angry, and when you're questioning him. If you go read Habakkuk, in the 3rd chapter of Habakkuk, he was very bold in what he went and said to the Lord, and was speaking his mind, and the Lord still showed favor to him and showed through to him how he was working in all of that. So he even expects in our darkest, angriest times to go to him, and he's there. He doesn't care if we shout at him, scream at him, or anything, but then we just need to rest in him.
I done it last night. I got a little bit frustrated with some issues and walked down, grabbed my dog and snapped the lead on him, went down the pond. Ain't very far from my house. It's probably in a quarter of a mile, if that. I know it's not a quarter. It's not very far, maybe 1/8 of a mile. Walked down there and sat on the pond dam and talked to the Father, and was frustrated. And when you do that, it keeps a clear mind, and you can stay, so you can take every thought captive and stuff. Because I had a lot of thoughts that was coming that wasn't lining up with the Word of God. It wasn't right. Some things.
And we
that I
do
had to
when we
go
get
line
angry.
up.
When we get angry, that's probably one of the places we're going to sin the most, is when we let our anger control us, instead of controlling our anger and using it, because you can use anger for good. You really can. It can be a good thing.
Anger is not sin. It's how we do it.
It's how we react to it and how we use it.
Sin not,
So, but it is. But he wants to hear from us in those times. He doesn't want to just always. He wants us to thank him always. But it's not. He wants us. He wants to be in the valley with us.
Yes, he does, and he is there.
He is, and
right
we've got to let him hold us by his right hand, and just let him carry us through some valleys. And there's been valleys, and there's going to be more valleys. But if we will stay true and stay in his word and have our mind and our ears and our hearts open, he's going to speak to us in the silliest of times, we think. Because when I was doing my hair, I was like, okay, God, I gotcha. But even in those times, he's talking to us, and he wants that relationship with us. And that's what it's about. It's about a relationship.
And the thing about too, when we draw near with confidence, we know because we're expecting God to move, and we expect God's grace, and we don't have to demand it. We can expect it because He says right here, if we draw near with confidence to the throne, we will receive mercy, grace, and help.
Yes.
And we've got to be confident, knowing that when I go to my Father, because I know when I was a kid, I'd always go ask my mom because my dad was a lot more,
I'd always go ask my dad
stuff,
because my mom was
you
hard.
don't need to do that, or you don't want what I just said. Even if mom said no, I could whine 15 minutes, and then she would give in, whatever. If we wanted, piece of candy, you already had some, and keep whining. What, if you went and asked my dad for a piece of candy, he'd just look at you and go on. You knew that answer was in that. So anyhow, I hope that you'll reread this today in the 4th chapter of Hebrews and starting there at the 14th verse. And check it out. Hide it in your heart. Yes. Know that it's in there, and we'll carry on with this theme, Lord willing, tomorrow. That we're able to get online. Sometimes I was late. I just blowed in here just a few minutes ago. I had a really busy morning. Had to make some house calls, check on some folks, and pray with them and deal with some stuff. So we'll try to be on here.
And we do have some people that are really in desperate need of prayer. So just lift up our congregation and those that watch online or whatever, because we do have some people that need.
That's right.
That are struggling.
Some big physical, some health, some financial, some marriage. Someone's having marriage. So pray for them. God knows what it is and the deal. I just pray that they'd be encouraged and lifted up. So tonight, men, 7 o'clock, Lord willing, we'll be over in the multi-purpose building for our men's meeting tonight. Bring your friends if you want. They don't have to come to church here. They don't even have to come to church.
Nope.
They may be non-believers. They may be whatever. I don't know what they believe. Maybe they don't even know what they believe or claim to be atheists, don't believe anything. Bring them anyways and let them know that they're welcome to come. So we'll kick that off at 7 o'clock tonight. I hope to see you guys here. Come on, and we'd love to fellowship together with you, pray, and encourage one another tonight as men. So God bless you. Tomorrow night, Lord willing, we'll be with our kids in here at 6, and then our junior high and senior high youth at 7.
Talking about our kids, we need plastic eggs and candy for our Easter egg hunt. We would prefer non-chocolate candy, anything that wouldn't melt, and individually wrapped. We don't want a bag of jelly beans because we can't do anything with that. We can't just pour jelly beans in it.
We'll have to give them the whole bag.
Yeah.
So we need
so
something that's wrapped.
If you can just do individually wrapped, just bring those to the church at any time. We're here. One of us is here almost every day. So, and I'm here Monday through Thursday for sure. And I've been working on Fridays. So.
Yeah, like I said, we're in and out, or if you come, we can have somebody meet you, tell you where to put it.
That's exactly right.
Or whatever, and we'll get
Text
it.
us or whatever,
we'll
we just need that candy and stuff for that Easter egg hunt because we have a ton of kids that come to that. We had we had close to 200 last year.
Yeah, we had a bunch. We're going to take those eggs up till April 10th, so you'll have between now and April 10th, and that Sunday after service, we're going to have a little egg stuffing party and getting all that set up, because then that following Saturday on the 16th is when we'll be doing that. So mark that down on your calendars. We'll be getting the word out, announcing that. So we had a lot of help last year, and we're going to need it again this year. Could have used some more. Like I said, we had a bunch of kids come through here. So anyhow, God bless you. Hope you're having a great Tuesday.
Yes.
Hang in there. Remember, it's faith over fear and Christ over crisis. God bless you. If you need us, holler at us. Church phone's 918-399-5956. My number's 405-570-7616. God bless you. Have a great, great Tuesday.